acoustics are a thing. We've heard of good acoustics and bad acoustics. But what is so good about here as opposed to here? Well, today I'm going to the Vicoustic headquarters to conduct some experiments and to finally get to the bottom of what acoustic treatment really is, what it means, and how it will really impact your recordings. I just really want to know what the tangible differences are between my little studio without any acoustic treatment and then with all of the fancy. So in order to do this, I'm going to record the exact same thing in my studio before I put any acoustic treatment up and then after. And not only should we hopefully be able to hear the difference, I'm going to put it into a frequency spectrum analyzer so we can see how the actual frequency itself is different. If there's anyone that can help me on this quest of mine, it is CEO of Vicoustic, Cesar Carapinha. He believes that acoustic treatment should be an essential component to any space. And we could even be saving money on super expensive audio equipment if we just make sure we treat our spaces properly. A rather bold statement. His Portugal-based company Vicoustic is now established in over 70 countries, widely respected as a global leader of acoustic innovation and design.
Those panels are also acoustic panels, and you can choose the design you want.
Aww, you've got shiny hair. You're just showing off now.
So everything starts here, where we do the woodwork. So here you can see how the acoustic panels are made. This is the outside, and the filling is made with recycled plastic. This is a patent process where we transform the recycled water bottles into acoustic panels.
Wow, you do that here?
Yes, everything is made from recycled water bottles.
Wow.
All the prints are done over there. Then all the designs are passed to the plastic, and we use this line. And upstairs is where we do the cutting.
Okay.
So maybe we go upstairs
Yeah.
and see the process. So with this technique we can simulate rigid materials, for example concrete.
So cool.
It's a super difficult word for me in English. Absolute. Super difficult for me.
How different is it if you only have a small budget and you were to buy sort of the more budget projects? Does it make a big difference in the actual acoustic result, or is it mostly the appearance?
No, it's just appearance. On a budget you can have good results as well if you are well advised. The main problem is that people don't get advice and try to do it yourself. You have to be professional to do all the calculations and make sure that you do the correct thing. We have a project department team. They can get the plans of the room, and then we do all the calculations, 3D, and we deliver with the solution. Music is my passion, and Vicoustic started because there was no aesthetic solution for my own recording studio at home.
Wow.
This is why I built Vicoustic.
This is your solution to your problem?
Yes, it was my solution at the time, and then I found that was really a need for this on the market. Everything was ugly, grey and with pyramids. And there was no options. Then I started, okay, let's incorporate wood, but let's do this on a professional way. And the concept of Vicoustic was that.
That's wonderful. The best companies and the best products are always born from that. If you care, then you're going to make good things, and you obviously do care very deeply. So.
And ideally, you have acoustic panels at home, but it's not intrusive. So you look at it and it's decoration.
It's like a piece of art.
We invest a lot on technology to make them more sustainable as we can. So 80% of the electricity we consume comes from solar panels. We try to recycle everything into our own products, even scraps we use. Normally we are working with the soundtrack always playing. It needs maintenance, so tomorrow they're gonna come and fix it.
Oh, right.
The amplifiers,
Okay.
maybe putting it too loud. The last stage is quality control over there, and here is packing, and then it goes to our logistics. And we go to the logistics because I want you to see one room.
Okay. Oh, I'm excited.
The first thing I wanted to have here was a lab so that we could do research in acoustics and make sure that all the products we vision, at the end they work.
Wow.
Because normally what the other acoustic companies that are on the market, what they do simulations in software. It doesn't correspond to the truth. Once you have the products and you do the measurements, it's always different from what you predict. The first thing we wanted to have was a lab, and here on the lab, this is where we do our research. All the products we developed are measured and tested here.
Let's go.
You first. So, extreme reverb.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, this is surreal. I feel like I'm underwater or something.
It's really strange.
Her ears are like...
Here we can create a phase cancellation. So we can generate a sound wave that hits that wall, and when it comes back, it cancels in some certain points. Really? You can actually here you have sound, and here you don't have. No. With specific frequencies. Yes, it's surreal.
Awesome.
Yes, and we can transform this reverberant chamber into an anechoic chamber. Right. Putting some cubes, we have the cubes upstairs, and we can transform it zero reverb. Well, this is the typical problem of a new house. Parallel surfaces, acoustics is terrible. And then we have these terrible acoustics, we put the products, you see the measurements on the floor, into different positions, and we do the measurements. This is a big difference from Vicoustic and the rest of the world.
No one does this kind of live testing.
All right.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. That's wild.
After seeing pictures of my little studio, an acoustician made a 3D mock-up of my room featuring recommended products based on my acoustic needs. It's all explained in a beautiful document, so all I needed to do was just agree and ta-da! I recorded the entirety of 2 different songs, 2 different types of vocal performances as well. I used the exact same mic and the exact same settings, gain, everything. There is no plugins at all. It's completely dry. No reverb, no EQ, no tuning, no nothing. The raw signal from the untreated studio and then the treated studio. Imagine if after all this there's literally no difference. Don't be like that, Lolli. Anyway, let's look at the waveforms first, see if they look different. They do.
Filter my feelings, filter my face, trap my trust, fuel my lust, oh validate. Filter my feelings, filter my face, trap my trust, fuel my lust, oh validate.
It sounds like more squishy, more compressed in the treated studio version, and that kind of adds up with what we're seeing. So think of this visual as kind of like a heat map. The red lines is where there is a very detectable pitch, and so you can see even though I'm singing one note here, this fundamental note, there are overtones, as we've gone through in other videos before. In the untreated studio, there are lots of gaps in between these overtones, meaning the sound is more spread out, it's more dispersed, because the room, I guess, is obviously more reflective, because it's more empty, without all of the nice squishy stuff.
My cup bag full of hate, what I wear.
You can hear how it's more clear and rich, the same note with the same vocal technique. You can see as well more prominence in the upper harmonics of that note, as opposed to this time where you can see those upper harmonics, it's faded. Well, it obviously has resulted in my upper frequencies not being lost, but exactly why that is, I would hazard a guess that it would be because of the dampening of the echoes. By installing those panels that get rid of the echoes, the upper frequencies are not so scattered and bouncy, but more direct. So that's cool. Let's look at a soft section again.
I am the face of someone's doom.
Oh, it looks different.
I am the face of...
What a difference.
I am the face of someone's doom.
Just that line.
I am the face of someone's doom.
Wow. It's so much fuller, isn't it? My goodness. That's unbelievable. In the treated version, it sounds so much fuller, so much more balanced. And I sang it the exact same, I promise you. Look at all of these gaps here, all this thinness. Fascinating. You see all of this red stuff here, down in here. This is bass, okay? These are bassy frequencies. And one of the things that we installed from Vicoustic was bass traps. Trap of the bass. And the reason it's really important to trap bass is because you need to have space in your record for all your instruments. Now, if I'm singing high pitches, I don't want bass from my voice. I want bass from a bass, for example. And if my vocal recording has loads of bassy frequencies because of how the room is echoing the sound, then I'm going to have a muddy track, aren't I? Because I don't then have as much room down there. And if you look at what happened in the untreated version, we got all this bassy yuckiness. But in this version, hardly any. Just if we look here, the colours, it hardly gets red at all. Isn't that remarkable? By golly.
I am the face of someone's doom. I am the face of someone's doom.
So much fuller. I had been recording in that studio for well over a year anyway, and I never really saw a big problem with the audio. But now I can compare. You can see it, you know. Let's see an example of another song.
I am the rain on a lifeless desert plain. I'm the sun that shines on fire while the freezing folks complain. I'm in a wave. I am the rain on a lifeless desert plain. I'm the sun that shines on fire while the freezing folks complain. I'm in a wave.
Definitely fuller in the treated one. I can really hear it. For this song and this sort of melody, the untreated studio version doesn't sound bad because it has that little bit of reverb and that little bit of room environment that kind of suits this more acoustic vibe. But the problem is, because then my room has dictated the kind of reverb that I'm going to have, I've then got less freedom when I go to add reverb on in post-production. If I add reverb on top of an already reverby vocal take, it's going to sound perhaps more swampy. We can actually try that in just a second.
2 seconds later.
Okay, let's try it now. Now let's put a little stock plug-in on you, little one. We'll have just a plain old reverb. Now.
I am the rain on a lifeless desert plain. I'm the sun that shines on fire while the freezing folks complain. I'm in a wave.
Okay. Now, let's put that exact same reverb plugin on the treated studio one and see what the difference is.
I am the rain on a lifeless desert plain. I'm the sun that shines on fire while the freezing folks complain. I'm in a wave.
I don't hate the untreated studio version, but it's not going to cut through as well on a record because of that thinness in the middle upper section. And that's
very interesting.
There's a very, very, very delicate part of this song where I sing so breathy like that. Untreated studio.
Slowly, surely, I adore me. I'm just holding back.
Fine. Let's listen to the treated one.
Rich or poorly, insecurely, I'll find
You can
my
really,
way
really tell.
back.
Look at all of those gappy gaps. Yeah, look, it's crazy. So much separation in those harmonics as opposed to this nice full chunky performance. And that really is ideal. Now we know. The thing is, remember, I recorded both of these with a really, really good mic, the wonderful Austrian audio mic. Because the mic is good, of course, the vocal performance is not going to sound as bad as it would be if it was recorded on a phone or something like that. But you can really, really tell doing those comparisons. I'm so glad I did this. If you're wanting to make a professional record, especially one that's going to have other layers in it, which all records do have usually at least 2 or 3 layers, you need to make sure that the frequencies that you're intending to transmit in your voice are transmitted without disturbance. You need to make sure that your room is not going to sabotage your performance, like cutting stuff out of your harmonics, which is basically what was happening. What we could see and hear consistently throughout all of the takes was this thinness as opposed to the full range of harmonics. So I thought it would make a really big difference on like Inner Wave, where it's all like delicate, but less on I Can't Decide, where it's a little bit more punchy. But that wasn't really the case. In fact, it was kind of more important on the slightly louder, punchier track, because if you're going to get some disturbance into those higher full notes, especially making them sound more thin, your vocal performance is going to sound more scratchy and you're not going to get all of that rich tone that you've been practicing to put into the song. And so this has really proven to me the power of acoustic panels. And even when I need to move spaces, I am going to take these Vicoustic panels and I'm going to ask them where to put them. That obviously makes a huge difference. You can't just chuck them randomly on the wall. The panels have obviously done a very, very specific, meticulous job, as we can see in the result. I'm convinced. And so be it, my beautiful fairy folk. That is the power of acoustic treatment. It's real, it's tangible, and bloody worth your time. Humongous, ginormous kisses and hugs. Beijinhos for Vicoustic for sponsoring this video. I'm really bloody glad I did this. It was very much worthwhile. So thank you. Thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. I cannot wait to see you again, where we'll get up to probably something else. Definitely. Have a beautiful day. I love you bunches, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Mwah. Bye. 5-mile walk to turn the camera off. This feels so weird to make a video on my sofa. It's a bit too relaxing, actually.